Before we dive in, if you love uncovering historical survival tactics and want to make it through winter smarter and warmer, hit that subscribe button and like the video. You'll find strategies that worked a century ago and can still help today. Even in the dead of winter, soldiers in the trenches of World War I avoided freezing solid through a combination of clever layering, resourceful sheltering, and practical routines. The key wasn't luxury. It was strategy and discipline applied to every part of life in the mud and snow. They used layered clothing to trap heat efficiently. Soldiers weren't walking around in single uniforms. They layered wool, flannel, and whatever insulated garments were available. Wool, in particular, was a lifesaver because it retains warmth even when damp. This principle can be applied today. Multiple thin layers trap air, providing natural insulation. If you're facing icy conditions, wearing a base layer that wicks moisture, followed by wool or fleece, can replicate the thermal protection soldiers relied on. They insulated their living spaces carefully, even in trenches. Trenches were far from comfortable, but soldiers learned to block wind and prevent heat loss. They dug firing steps, lined trench walls with sandbags, and sometimes covered floors with straw or hay. The principle is simple. Even minimal insulation between you and the cold ground drastically reduces heat loss. Modern application is straightforward. Lay a thick mat, foam, or even a pile of dry leaves between yourself and frozen surfaces when sleeping outdoors or on poorly insulated floors. They maintained warmth through fire and hot water whenever possible. Hot tea, soup, and even small stoves were lifesavers. Soldiers would fill metal containers with hot water to place near their feet in the dugouts, or wrap in cloth to serve as portable foot warmers. Today, keeping a heat source close, such as hot water bottles or thermoses of warm drinks, is a direct application. It's not glamorous, but it works. They stayed dry and managed moisture meticulously. Wet clothing leads to rapid heat loss, and trench soldiers knew this all too well. They rotated boots and clothing, wrung out wet layers, and made sure their sleeping areas were as dry as possible. In winter survival today, staying dry is just as important as wearing warm layers. So it's a good idea to carry a waterproof outer layer and keep spare socks and gloves to swap out when things get damp. They also move strategically to maintain circulation. Even brief activity kept the blood flowing. Soldiers would patrol, dig, or just perform simple exercises to prevent numbness. For anyone enduring cold winters, light movement every 30 to 60 minutes really does prevent your core from dropping dangerously low. Small exercises, even indoors, mirror the trench approach and can actually keep you comfortable overnight. These practices were simple, repeatable, and effective. They relied on physics, biology, and discipline more than any specialized equipment. Implementing even a few of these strategies today can make winter far more bearable. If you found this guide useful, do subscribe to Living Through the Seasons for more practical historical insights and survival strategies. And, share this video with anyone who needs to beat the cold this winter.